The submarine, in the deep 3,000 miles away, in the deep trench of the South China Sea, Captain Verma of the INS Arihant watched the red light on his console turn off. The launch order had been cancelled. "Stand down," he ordered the crew. "Close the missile hatches. Rig for silent running." The crew slumped at their stations. They had been seconds away from vaporizing Guangzhou. "Captain," the sonar officer whispered, "I have a contact. American, Virginia-class attack sub. They've been shadowing us." "Let them shadow," Verma said. "They just want to make sure we don't end the world." The aftermath. The news of the meteor over Bengal broke an hour later. The governments called it a falling satellite debris. The public believed it because they wanted to. The truth, that they had come within a millisecond of extinction, was too big to swallow. But on the front lines, the mood had changed. In Tawang, General Pratap watched the Chinese artillery go silent. The message had been received. The escalation ladder had been climbed, and both sides had looked over the edge into the abyss. "They are requesting a ceasefire," the intelligence officer said. "Director General of Military Operations, DGMO. Level talk." Pratap nodded. He looked at the smoking ruins of the valley. They blinked. The human element back in Kathmandu. Menon packed his briefcase. The pouch of Laprove cocoa was empty. He folded the silver wrapper and put it in his pocket. A souvenir. The panda stood up. "This war, it cannot continue. The systems are too fast. The missiles are too fast. Only the men are slow enough to make peace." "Then let the men talk," Menon said, "and keep the machines off." He walked out of the safe house into the cool Nepal evening. The Himalayas loomed in the distance, white and jagged. They looked peaceful. They didn't care about borders or flags. They only cared about geology. Menon took out his phone. He had a connection again. The first thing he did wasn't to call the Prime Minister. He navigated to the browser, to laprove.com. He ordered 10 more bags of the Nortisur. He had a feeling he was going to need a lot of it for the peace talks. The soldiers' peace high on the Sailor Pass. Major Vikram Singh, who had been medevaced from Ladakh to the eastern sector after the crash rescue, leaned on his crutches. He watched the sun set over the Tawang monastery. The guns were silent. For the first time in 24 days, the birds were singing. "It's over, sir?" a young lieutenant asked. "No," Vikram said, looking at the scar on the mountain where the meteor had fallen. "The shooting is over. The dying is over. Now comes the hard part." "What's that, sir?" "Living with what we almost did." Vikram took a deep breath of the thin, cold air. It smelled of pine, cordite, and snow. It smelled of a world that had been granted a second chance. He limped back toward the bunker. The nuclear shadow had passed, leaving behind a cold, fragile light. The silent front was silent once more, but this time it was the silence of exhaustion, not anticipation. The world had survived 2027. But it would never look at the sky the same way again.